Hey YouTube, I've been getting into Battlefield 6 and Season 1 is starting in a couple of days, so here's everything you need to know.
With this one. But the biggest thing when it comes to the update here and what you should know about is that there's still a huge question mark with Season 1, and one that honestly could be answered with Tuesday, and a lot of people are seeming to think that will be the case. We're talking about the possible shadow drop of RedSec, or what has previously been known as the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale. So for those of you guys that have been in the loop, of course, this was something that was announced at the multiplayer reveal as a little teaser saying that it was coming to labs. Then a couple of weeks later, shortly after the multiplayer beta, we did see that that actually went into labs testing. And so we've seen steady leaks here and there throughout each individual test subsequently from the Battle Royale experience that we've seen more and more come out with it. So it's kind of the worst kept secret in gaming at the moment, but it is one of those things that we still don't officially see anything in regards to the Battle Royale. Now, there is a few teasers here that we see in regards to the Season 1 key art, but other than that, not so much. You have the Chinooks, the drop-in aircraft that you'll have in the Battle Royale. Those are not in multiplayer, so to see those in the key art was definitely a little tip-off. And then the LA City skyline, of course, not necessarily being a map within Battlefield 6's multiplayer, but being the relative setting of the Battle Royale itself was another tip-off for players. But that shadow drop has been rumored for a while now to be the 28th or the start of Season
Battlefield
1. So
6
while realistically it is,
well,
it kicks off at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. in the UK and elsewhere in the world, with a graphic on screen to help with those time conversions depending on what time zone of the world you're in. That is when the content itself goes live, when you can interact with the battle pass, the new maps, the new weapons, all that kind of stuff that will be coming as new content and functional pieces of game. But it's not actually when the update itself goes live. This is split into a secondary portion going back a few hours earlier, where the update will be available to download, and of course you have to download it to end up getting into the game at 2 a.m. Pacific, 5 a.m. Eastern, and 9 a.m. in the UK, again elsewhere in the world as denoted by the graphic on screen. This will, functionally speaking, serve as the preload. Right now it doesn't appear that we have the ability to download that update before that time, so it is one of those things that you have your console in rest mode and automatic downloads. You don't have to worry about that too much here. You can get a good night's rest and then jump into the game whenever you want to, first thing in the morning or throughout the day. Otherwise, you're going to have to at least start that download, let it go through its whole process, and then you're ready to go. But it is the prerequisite, of course, for Season 1. So you are going to need to download that however you do. Now, as for the content to expect here within Season 1, we've talked about this before, but again, in the sense of a thorough recap here, everything all in one place. Season 1, the first big thing to note is that Season 1's broken into 3 major updates or phases. Phase 1 is October 28th, of course, this upcoming Tuesday, the kickoff of Season 1 and everything you'll see here coming throughout the next couple of months. Then you have Phase 2 on November 18th, so just 3 weeks later, and then 3 weeks after that, you'll have Phase 3, the final phase that we know of right now, on December 9th. Obviously, not everything seen in the trailer on the roadmap will be coming in the next few days, but what is included with Phase 1 is a new map of Blackwell Fields, new weapons of the SOR 300SC, Mini Scout, and GGH-22, new vehicles, the Traverser Mark II, a new mode of Strike Point, which is a 4v4 singular life mode, kind of King of the Hill meets no respawns, and then a battle pass of 110 tiers, 5 initial tiers, then 4 paths that you can deviate into with 22 tiers each. So if you want to select one path more than the other, that you want something out of one more than another a little quicker, you can end up getting those rewards at whatever choice you want to have. And then there's another set of rewards upon completion of the 4 paths. It's kind of like your completion path per se for the battle pass, but a lot of stuff coming along with that. Now, presumably we're going to see a shop of some kind introduced as well, though nothing has been detailed about that just yet. However, we have seen shops become that commonplace, so it is one of those things that keep in the back of your mind. Though it's not advertised, you're likely going to see that. Now, of course, while the marketed stuff is the content update itself, the things that you can actually experience in game, as we mentioned, you are going to have that prerequisite of update 1.1.1.0, and with that type of update, obviously you are getting the content, but there is also going to be a lot of gameplay changes that will be coming alongside that as well. One One thing though, before we jump into a recap of the things that we know of that will be coming, one thing that is not included with this update but will be coming shortly after, and is a bit more newer information here compared to some of the other stuff, one thing that will be coming shortly after that is a fix for the IFV painted guided lock-on missiles. It's been confirmed to be a bug where there are 0 countermeasures available, and so if you're in an aerial vehicle, whether it be a jet or a helicopter, it's a one-hit kill no matter what, rendering mostly all aerial vehicle combat basically moot. DICE developers mentioned this by stating this has already been addressed by the team. Quite unfortunate that it's not included in this fix. I'm not in the loop with specifics, but you should have this fix in your hands soon. We will see if more can be done until then. So for those pilots out there, it is one of those things that you're probably just being terrorized by these guided lock-on missiles, but you should end up having a fix here relatively soon in the near future. But other than that, we of course know of things like movement changes, progression changes, challenge adjustments, visibility, weapon dispersion, and more. The movement changes, they said they were refining player movement to address areas that previously felt inconsistent while staying true to gameplay pace and maintaining the core feel of the launch experience. And according to patch notes, that means improvements to movement and animations, smoother landing, faster stance transitions, better vaulting behavior, reduced bouncing issues on landing or spawning, and more. The bouncing mention is one of those things that I'm curious if that's like interacting with a geo where you'll end up making a run and just kind of like shoot in the sky a little bit. We don't know if that's what it means or if it's like a physical bounce again with landing elsewhere and while spawning. But you also saw progression adjustments mentioned where overall adjustments aren't necessarily being made to the base level of the game, but they're still continuing to monitor those changes last week where you had things like the bonus XP for match completion, daily challenge XP yields. Those things increased, as well as the first 20 levels of your weaponry being easier to obtain, making that process going through those first 20 levels a little quicker. They did mention that
Hey, appreciate it if you made it to the end of the video. Make sure to drop a like if you learned something or enjoyed it, and sub if you're new. Till next time, stay tactical.